This is Boxing Tickets NA in association with SB Sports in Chaco. We're at the Wood Conlan presser, although in the background there it looks like they've been all dismantled. We're here with the head honcho of Conlan Boxing, Jamie Conlan.
How's things?
All's fantastic. 2 days of presser over and done with. You sort of painted yourself in a really good picture the last couple of days. I guess the pride of obviously the Conlan tradition, and you spoke very well over the last couple of days. You've really got under Ben, I guess, in some ways. Do you want to elaborate more on sort of?
No, I was just being honest and being myself. I truly believe in Michael. I speak with honesty, I speak with passion, because I believe in what he can do and what he will do. So that's where it all boils down to. This fight, I truly believe, is destiny for Michael. He predicted that he'll be a world champion within 14 or 15 fights, and here we are. He predicted that he was going to fight in Madison Square Garden for his debut with Conor McGregor, walking him out, and he did it. He predicted he'd be Ireland's first ever world champion as a male, and he done it. So these are things that he speaks with so much confidence, and he knows that he'll do it. When he says it, he speaks it into fruition, he speaks it into existence, and that's what he's been doing. Past 2 days has been fun, but the hard work is still to be done in the gym, and the hard work is still to be done on fighting.
I guess for you, obviously being a retired fighter and being there and done that, you know, Michael was obviously close by and watching you fighting and everything else. Does it probably bring it back a bit for you and going, I remember when I was geeing myself up for this and the ways to do things, or how's it got you the experience now to sort of help Michael on that next level?
Because as you said, been there, done it. You've been through the bad times, you've been through the good times. You know, Michael's had a completely different career than what I've had, but I've been able to warn him of the pitfalls that boxing possesses. You know, he came in as the golden boy of top rank, and you know, so on and so forth, and he was the one who was headlining him on Square Garden his debut, where I was fighting in Craig Avon Leisure Centre in my second fight. So stuff like that. Their third fight was, you know, they kind of we've seen two different sides of the coin. But then the flip side is that I've got to experience them, you know, as a brother, and I got to experience them nights with him and seeing how it's been treated, seeing how boxing treats you differently when you're there. So seeing the other pitfalls that can be opened because of the exposure that he's let himself in for.
And obviously for Conlan Boxing itself as well, you know, Michael being on DAZN all around the world, it's probably going to help you as a brand more than anything as well, and sort of attracting maybe people may not have seen the rise on what Conlan Boxing's all about so far.
We're still in the embryo stage, we're still building. You know, two fighters looking to make their debut in next month, and you know, Michael is heavy in the you know, the mindset of the Emmons, and you know, building Emmons up and how he feels, and you give your opinions, and it's fantastic. Listen, we're still very early in our days, and we're still building and finding our feet and how to do things and how to build things and how to grow as a company. But Michael in a world title fight, winning the world title on his own will be, you know, icing on the cake for a first year.
Would you ideally like it to be for the Super Bowl? I know the WBA
It should be. Listen, there was a bit of confusion and all that there, but Leigh Wood beat the man that was Kanzu. He, in my eyes, is the world champion. Anyone states that whoever wins this fight, the WBA will do the logical and right thing to do, I think, when Leo fights in February and strip him of the Super title and make Leo a Super title champion. So, Super champion. It has all the echoes of Frampton Quigg again, because Quigg had the same position prior to Frampton. Frampton was the B side, and then I think Hearn was the A side promoter. Quigg was the A side promoter. Quigg was the big puncher. It was in his backyard. This has all the appetite of that, different stages and different intangibles on the two fighters. And Michael fighting for his first world title. Frampton was a long reigning world champion before that there. So it's but it's still got that kind of feel. It's still got that kind of attitude. It's still got that kind of chip on the shoulder. Here we are to come in and take over here, and I truly believe that's what we'll do in Nottingham on March the 5th, and we'll have a new world champion.
I guess the only thing I'd probably be missing from the Frampton Quigg is the fallout over the changing rooms, you know, and who's the A side. You know, I guess, you know, people's going to have their opinions and everything else. Michael's an established boxer, Leigh's sort of only coming to this sort of level. I guess Michael doesn't care as long as the fight's happening and everything else. He doesn't care what change room he's going to be in.
No, he doesn't care. All Michael has to do is focus on Michael. The best Michael Conlan beats any other featherweight in the world. and that's all he's got to do. Focus on me. Leigh Wood is a fantastic fighter, and he's a big punch. He's got long arms. He can fight orthodox. He can fight southpaw. He's improved over Ben Davison. He's got more patient under Ben Davison, and is trying to be more boxing to orders, whereas he was fighting a lot more willy-nilly when he lost to Jazzy Dickens at Cole. So this is going to be a tough night, no doubt about it. But that's what makes it even sweeter. We know we're in for a tough fight. We know we're the underdog, whether it be in the bookies or not. Or we know we're in the opponent's backyard. We know we're in the opponent's promoter team. Makes it all sweeter. And makes the drive for the next 7 weeks even more persistent. When you're feeling tired, that can pick you up and drive you on again. When you're feeling like this is getting tough, that picks you up and goes you an extra round. When the sparring is tough, you understand why you're sparring tough, why you're doing all this and why it's things. So it's fantastic because I've seen a different drive of it. Like, he's took it up another level in the gym. When I speak to Harlem Eubank and the rest of the lads in the gym, they say that they've never seen him train this hard, train with as much malice that he's trained with now, and trying to outwork everyone in the gym. Liam Williams can't believe how hard Michael works, and he's a hard man. So this is what's needed to bring out the best in Michael.
Is there anybody probably you have in consideration for sort of in the build up to the fight as a sort of big puncher?
Anthony Kakachi. He doesn't hit harder than Anthony Kakachi. So Anthony Kakachi, I think we're going to come over for the second week of sparring. We're going to get a lot of work with Anthony. Is he as good as Anthony Kakachi? I don't think so. So I think we're sparring better fighters than Leigh Wood. So Kakachi, we have a few others coming in lined up. Really good sparring, tough sparring, heavier guys, later guys, southpaws and orthodox. It's all tailored to the best Leigh Wood. So if we've not seen the best Leigh Wood, we're expecting a better Leigh Wood. We're expecting someone who's as good as I believe could be world champion within the next year. So that's kind of how we're looking at it. Someone, he's got the same intangibles, long arms, can fight orthodox, can fight southpaw, can punch with either hand, can put combinations together, can box. So works out.
For you yourself, you can plan ahead, probably looking past obviously March the 12th, but obviously the plan is potentially Fila 2022. I know the plan before COVID sort of hit was to do 20,000. Does the Kiko Joyce Warrington fight appeal as a unification, or what sort?
Yeah. Kevin Gamble has given 3 insurances that we can do 15 to 20,000. If we build it, they will come, and it makes a lot of sense. And I think again, Hearn coming here today, he knows he's missed his trick. Back in 2016, we never signed Michael out. We never spoke. Arm was the best to go with, and his lost his arms game. But he had seen it, and he knows that now. Yeah, press conference today, it's massive. Frampton, outside Frampton, no one else could do what Michael is doing, and has all the similar fields. He's the same kind of kid. So it's logical, but we can't look ahead. Leigh Wood is the only fight and the toughest fight. Although we are penciling dates for the field and looking at different sites and different plans in place, Leigh Wood is the only thing that matters right now for all of us, and the mindset is like that.
And obviously it's looking like it's going to be a sellout pretty much already. I know we've obviously been helping. We've obviously been helping you with some of the tickets and things like that.
Pester me.
Yeah. But obviously, is there any tickets available of mixed pre-sale sort of left, or?
We finished the pre-sale. We asked for another 400 today, which I think we'll receive next week. I think we might need some more after the past 2 days. It seems like people have woken up and realised, oh yeah, that's right, it's happening. So here we go. General sale, I think, will be. I've heard a lot of tickets have gone already from the guys on general sale, so it's interesting. It shows though the standard and the level the fight is. This past 2 days, and the crowd's coming out now, and the crowd's coming out today, is a testament to the two fighters and what the fight and what is on the line and what kind of fight it is, and how the clash of styles will marinate for a great fight and create a difference in opinions and how it's going to go. So yeah. The settlement, none of them, and it's going into the lands. Then that's all part of it. That's all part of destiny. That's all part of becoming great, creating legacy. Knowing that on March 12th, 2022, Niall Conlan went to Ireland, beat Leigh Wood, in front of his own fans, in front of his own promoter, and took the world title back to Belfast.
And it's I think it's pretty much coming up now 3 years since we've last TJ Tahini. Obviously the last one, I think February 2019, I think, was obviously his last one as a world champion. So it's 3 years since we've had a world title as a male champion. So it's written in the stars.
Long time coming. It's needed. We are a fantastic boxing nation. Belfast is a fantastic boxing city, and we need a new world champion.
And the future's looking great as well. Obviously, Conlan Boxing, you're signing the best sort of there is.
Yeah.
When should we hope to have?
I'll tell you now that the two lads will be fighting February 26th in Glasgow on Josh Taylor versus Jack Kettle's undercard. Hopefully we'll be able to announce it. I'm announcing it now, so hopefully Top Rank in the Sky will be announcing it next week or so. But 2 6-rounders, kicking it off nicely. Very excited for the debut of Cameron Lowe. I'm very excited for the debut of Kurt Walker. The progression already in only the few weeks that they've made the transition to the program has been fantastic. Getting feedback from the coaches, they're very, very happy. It's life changing for both of them, moving across the water to England to better themselves and better their craft. And this is what it's all about. It will all add to it when it all matters.
And I think obviously the next show I think you planned is potentially April.
Looking at April, we're waiting on dates confirming whether we're going to go Ulster Hall or Waterford Hall. Looking at Lewis Crocker, Sean McComb, a few other lads. We'll speak with other promoters and other managers about their fighters getting on. And yeah, we're looking at April, live on ESPN.
Fantastic, and I guess for any fight fans, I guess obviously mixed fight leads nicely into April as well, and sort of springtime, bringing the best out of Conlan Boxing, and obviously what you want to do moving forward.
Yeah, it definitely does, and we'll be very happy and after March to be setting up our own show and doing it here, and it's great to be working with so many great fighters. Being able to work with so many great fighters in the country, and it's I'm expecting big things for some of the fighters that we mentioned.
Jamie, listen, thanks very much for your time. I'm sure we'll catch up again soon.
Nice one, Morty. Have a good one.
Cheers.